My father-in-law called me a terrible parent, so I ruined his life. He came begging, but I just laughed. Hey everyone, I'm Alex, and I've got a situation that's been eating me up inside. I'm 35 years old, and a year ago, my partner Jordan and I adopted the most amazing little girl, Mia, who just turned 1. We had a small birthday party for her with friends and family, but my father-in-law, Richard, didn't show up. I thought it was strange because he's usually the type to be front and center at family events. Not long after the party, I started hearing whispers from a few relatives that Richard was questioning the legitimacy of our adoption and even my ability to be a good parent. It really hurt because I love Mia more than anything, and I've been doing everything I can to be the best parent possible. Things came to a head at a family dinner when Richard straight up challenged my parenting decisions in front of everyone. He said I was too lenient and that Mia needed a firmer hand, which led to a massive argument. Half the family took his side, and the other half took mine, and it just left this huge rift between us all. Then, I found out Richard had commissioned a portrait of Mia. It was like he was trying to claim her or something, and it felt really underhanded because he did it without talking to me or Jordan first. It got weirder when I learned that Richard had been visiting Mia's biological mother. I don't know what he's been telling her or why he's even in contact with her, but it's got me really worried about what he's up to. At another family gathering, Richard gave Mia this super extravagant gift that totally overshadowed the little stuffed animal Jordan and I got for her. It was like he was trying to one-up us and show that he could provide better for Mia than we could. I tried to confront him about all of this, but he just brushed me off with some smooth talk, and I was left feeling like I was the one causing problems. It's like he's got everyone thinking I'm just being overly sensitive or paranoid. Then, my friend Jenna told me she saw Richard with a private investigator. I mean, what's that about? Is he digging into my past, trying to find dirt on me? It's like he's got some kind of vendetta. I actually caught Richard in a lie about where he'd been one afternoon. He said he was at work, but I saw him at the park, nowhere near his office. It confirmed my suspicion that he's not to be trusted. The last straw was when he left a sketchbook at our house by accident. It had all these plans for a room, like he was designing a special place for Mia. But why? It's like he's trying to build a life with her that doesn't include me. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm losing my daughter to my father-in-law, and I can't seem to stop it. It's like he's slowly taking my place, and I'm just supposed to smile and bear it. Any advice would be appreciated. Update 1. A lot has happened since my last update, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it all. Months have gone by, and I've come to learn that my father-in-law, Richard, has been hosting secret family gatherings. He's been excluding me and presenting himself as Mia's primary patriarch. It's like he's trying to erase me from her life. I found out about these gatherings when a cousin accidentally mentioned it, thinking I knew. I was shocked and hurt. It didn't stop there. Richard has been crafting a narrative of Mia's future that includes him, but not me. He talks about her future with him, planning trips and events, and never once mentioning my role as her parent. I overheard him talking to Mia about all the places we'll go and all the things we'll see together, and it was clear he didn't mean me when he said we. Richard's creative talents are something I've always admired, but now he's using them in a way that feels like a betrayal. He's made a series of children's books starring a character that looks just like Mia. It's like he's creating this fantasy world where he's the hero and I don't exist. I saw the books on the shelf at the local bookstore and my heart sank. At a community event, Richard introduced Mia as his granddaughter to everyone we met. He deliberately omitted her adoptive status, and it felt like a punch in the gut. It's like he's trying to claim her as his own, and it's confusing for Mia and infuriating for me. The worst part, I found a hidden camera in one of Mia's toys. I couldn't believe it. The only logical explanation is that Richard is surveilling us. I felt violated and scared for Mia's safety. I don't know what he's planning, but it can't be good. Richard orchestrated a situation that made me look negligent. At the park, he distracted me with a question, and when I turned back, Mia was up a tree higher than she should have been. Other parents looked at me like I was irresponsible. It was humiliating. Jordan, my partner, has started to question my trust issues. They think I'm being paranoid, but I know I'm not. It's causing a rift between us, and I feel so alone in this. Richard offered to take Mia on a trip, and when I refused, Mia got upset. She doesn't understand why I said no, and it's confusing for her. I just want to protect her, but it's so hard when Richard is constantly undermining me. I've discovered that Richard has been manipulating events to make me seem paranoid and unstable. Small things, like items moved around in my house, or appointments cancelled without my knowledge. It's like he's trying to make me doubt my own sanity. And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, my neighbor told me Richard has been asking about my past. He's searching for something incriminating, something he can use against me. I don't know what he's hoping to find, but it's clear he's not going to stop until he's turned everyone against me. I'm at my wit's end. I don't know how to protect Mia from this, or how to stop Richard from tearing our family apart. It feels like every day there's a new challenge, a new battle to fight, and I'm just so tired. But I have to keep going for Mia's sake. Update 2. Thank you for all the advice I've received here. It's been a tough year, and things with my father-in-law, Richard, have only gotten worse. I need to vent and maybe get some more advice because I'm at my wit's end. So, it's been a year since my last update, and my relationship with my partner Jordan is really strained. The conflict with Richard is like a dark cloud over our lives. It's like he's obsessed with undermining me at every turn, and it's taking a toll on us. Just the other day, I overheard Richard talking to my sister-in-law. He was going on about how he has a right to be a part of Mia's life because he's her blood relative. It made my blood boil. He doesn't seem to care about the legal adoption or the life we've built for Mia. It's like he thinks he has more of a claim to her than I do. Then, I started getting these anonymous letters. They were sent to our friends and family, and they were full of lies about me, questioning my character. It was so cowardly, not even putting a name to these accusations. But the hints in the letters, the way they were written, it all pointed to Richard. I can't prove it, but I know it was him. During a recent family crisis, Richard swooped in like some kind of hero. My aunt had a health scare, and he was there, taking charge and making all the arrangements. Everyone was praising him, and it felt like he was using the situation to make himself look like the savior of the family. Mia's been coming home with new clothes and toys that I didn't buy for her. I have no doubt that Richard is behind it. He's trying to buy her love, and it's working. She's always asking when she can see Grandpa Richard next. And then there was Mia's birthday party. Richard threw this grand party and didn't invite me. He told everyone I was too busy to come. It made me look like the bad parent who doesn't have time for their child. He's been telling Mia stories too. I've caught bits and pieces of them, and they always seem to have a moral that makes me look bad or questions my decisions. It's so subtle, but I see what he's doing. At Mia's school function, I might as well have been invisible. Richard was there, front and center, acting like he was the doting grandfather, and I was just there. I tried to confront him about it, but he has this way of turning things around. He made me look like the aggressor, and I ended up leaving in tears. The last straw was when I found a photo album at Richard's house. He had photoshopped himself into our family photos, replacing me in some of them. It was like he was trying to erase me from Mia's life. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel like I'm losing my daughter to this man who won't stop until he's replaced me. It's like a nightmare I can't wake up from. Any advice would be appreciated. Update 3. Thank you for all the advice I've received here. It's been a tough couple of years, and I'm at my wit's end. I need to vent about what's been happening with my father-in-law, Richard, and my adopted daughter, Mia. It's been 2 years since I last posted, and things have only gotten worse. I've become the black sheep of the family, all thanks to Richard's relentless efforts. I never thought it would get to this point, but here we are. The other day, I was passing by Mia's room when I heard her on a call with Richard. She laughed, and in her excitement, called him Daddy. My heart shattered into a million pieces. I know she's just a kid, and it was probably a slip, but it felt like a punch to the gut. Richard has been worming his way into her life, and it's working. Richard threw a family reunion recently, and guess who wasn't on the guest list? Me. Everyone was there, having a great time, and I was left out in the cold. It's clear he's trying to erase me from the family. I found out that Richard has been giving Mia art lessons. They're both into drawing and painting, and it's something they bond over. It's like he's found the perfect way to connect with her, and it's something I can't compete with. Mia's been asking why we don't see Richard anymore. She doesn't understand the conflict, and I'm at a loss for how to explain it to her without making things worse. I've tried to keep her out of it, but it's getting harder to shield her from the truth. In a moment of desperation, I tried to make peace with Richard. I thought maybe for Mia's sake, we could put our differences aside. But when I approached him, he just looked at me with this cold, dismissive stare and walked away. It was like I was nothing to him. At the local fair, I saw Richard with Mia. He was hugging her and being super affectionate, and it just felt wrong. It's like he's trying to take my place, and I don't know how to stop it. Mia drew a picture the other day. It was of her and Richard. He was drawn like a superhero, and I was off to the side, looking like a villain. It's clear he's influencing how she sees me, and it's breaking my heart. Then, out of the blue, I got an anonymous message saying that Richard is up to something big, something that could change everything. I have no idea what it means, but it's got me on edge. And just when I thought things couldn't get any more stressful, I saw Richard arguing with someone I didn't recognize. It looked serious, and he was frantic. There's definitely something he's hiding, and I'm scared to find out what it is. I'm trying to stay strong for Mia, but it's getting harder every day. Richard's manipulations are taking a toll, and I'm running out of ideas on how to handle this. I just hope I can find a way to protect my relationship with my daughter before it's too late. Last update. A lot has happened, so let's get right into the update. So it's been another year, and I've been working my butt off trying to fix the mess that's been going on with my family. I've been reaching out to relatives, having heart-to-hearts, and just trying to show them who I really am, you know? And it's been working, slowly but surely. I feel like I'm finally getting some of them to see past Richard's nonsense. Mia and I, we've gotten even closer, if that's possible. We've got this secret handshake now. It's our thing, just ours. It's silly, but it's like our way of saying, it's you and me against the world. She loves it, and honestly, so do I. It's like a little symbol of the trust we've built up. Now Richard, he's been noticing all this, and man, he does not like it. I can see it eating him up inside, which is, well, it's kind of satisfying, after everything he's put us through. So we were at this family picnic last weekend, and there was this three-legged race. Mia, she's all excited, bouncing around, and when it comes time to pick partners, she runs right past Richard and grabs my hand. She's shouting, "I want Alex! I want Alex!" And I'm telling you, the look on Richard's face was something else. He made this whole scene, trying to laugh it off, but you could tell he was fuming. But that's not even the half of it. Richard's been working on some big creative project, and it just tanked. Hard. I heard about it through the grapevine. His confidence is shot, and he's been acting all kinds of weird since then, like he doesn't know what to do with himself. I actually saw him have this moment, you know? He was talking to a friend at the park, and he didn't see me. He said he was scared that Mia would forget about him. It was the first time I ever saw Richard look, well, human. He tried to bounce back by planning this grand gesture to win Mia over again. He set up this elaborate treasure hunt, but it was way over the top. Mia ended up getting overwhelmed and upset, and the whole thing just fell apart. Richard was left standing there with this ridiculous pirate hat on, and everyone was just kind of embarrassed for him. I took Mia aside, and we talked it out. She was really shaken up, but by the end of it, we were laughing again. It felt like that moment really cemented things for us. She knew I was there for her, no matter what. And then, out of nowhere, Richard comes up to me. He's got this look on his face, like he's been hit by a truck. He actually apologizes, says he knows he's been out of line, and that he's sorry for all the trouble he's caused. I was floored. I mean, this is the guy who's made my life a living hell for years, and now he's standing here, looking all remorseful. I was just starting to process this when his phone rings. He picks it up, and I see his face just drop. He went pale, muttered something I couldn't hear, and then he just took off running. I called after him, but he was gone, just like that. And now I'm sitting here, trying to figure out what just happened. What could have shaken Richard up like that? I guess I'll find out sooner or later. But for now, I'm just going to focus on Mia and the good things we've got going. Whatever comes next, we'll handle it together.